So you may remember the high-profile trials of 5 teenagers of color after they were arrested in 1989 for the sexual assault of a white woman in New York Central Park. Well, those teenagers interrogated and intimidated by police, which ultimately resulted in false confessions. The case garnered national attention because of that and became known as the Central Park 5. Well, today we are talking about the Central Park 6 because a forgotten co-defendant had his conviction overturned by a New York judge just this week. Joining us to talk about it, Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg. Alvin, good to see you.
Good to see you too. Thanks for having me on.
Well, they say justice delayed is justice denied, right? So why was Steven Lopez overlooked as a defendant in this Central Park Jogger case? And does his exoneration represent justice to you?
So, I took office January 1st, so I can't speak about, kind of what happened back in the early 2000s and can say that certainly what we did in court this week was a step forward. Mr. Lopez was one of 6 people charged with the rape of a person known as the Central Park Jogger, and the same kind of issues, the forensic evidence that is now been deemed unreliable, statements that have been recanted. Those are the things that led to the vacating of the previously 5 people. The same issues, Mr. Lopez sat as a very young person and watched 2 trials unfold and people get convicted based on that evidence. And then so therefore he took a plea to other charged conduct in the park that night. And the evidence is not sufficient to go forward. And that's why we went and asked that it be vacated and the indictment dismissed. And I do think it's a step forward for justice.
And there was no physical evidence tied to Mr. Lopez, right?
No physical evidence tying. There was some hair comparison that was done, decades ago that has since been shown to have been unreliable. So no physical evidence tying him to the conduct he was charged with.
So does this establish any sort of precedent moving forward, do you think?
I do think it's important. And the other 5 were convicted by trial. And I think a lot of the wrongful convictions we see that are being set aside are trial convictions. I think this underscores an importance also to look at pleas and the fact that you can be convicted wrongfully by a plea. So I think that's an important thing we want to keep in mind as we go forward.
So, Alvin, I have to ask you, as a young black man who watched this case unfold as a teenager, how does it feel for you personally, as the Manhattan DA now, to get this conviction thrown out under your watch?
First and foremost, I think about Mr. Lopez, who had the opportunity to be in court with earlier this week and hear his lawyer speak to him about what this means to him personally. But as you say, it's not lost on me. Look, I'm about his age, had to go past Central Park every day, going between home and school. I think about what I was doing at that age, playing sports in the park. And I think about the long shadow that this case cast over the system for many, including me. And I think about having been a prosecutor for the past 20+ years, and that we can't do our job. We can't get witnesses and victims to come forward if they do not trust the system. And so my hope is that, this measure of justice will help advance public safety by restoring faith and hope in the system so that we can engage with the victims and witnesses we need to keep Manhattan safe.
And just to follow up on that, you've now revamped what used to be known as the Conviction Integrity Unit. Why did you do that, Alvin? And also, what do you say to those who have criticized you, even in light of all this, for not focusing enough on the rise in crime in the city?
Right. So, first, we have more work to be done, but homicides and shootings, 2 key pieces of data we look at, are down year to date in Manhattan. We focused a lot on gun violence, have brought more gun prosecutions year to date this year than last year. And so certainly more work to be done, but we are doing the work in the space of gun violence, domestic violence, with a new unit, new division that focuses on special victims, including sex crimes and domestic violence. And as I said, the numbers are trending in the right direction on homicides and shootings. And as for the unit, our post-conviction justice unit, This is a part of the broader mission of public safety, as I said. I think it's important that org charts reflect values, and so the unit reports directly to me. And I think when we're doing these look backs, it's first and foremost for the person who suffered from a wrongful conviction, but also for the broader issues of faith in our system, which we so desperately need in order to make cases. As a prosecutor, I know there are cases that weren't able to make because we didn't have cooperation from witnesses or victims because of their view of the system. So all of this is part of the broader mission and vision for public safety in Manhattan.
District Attorney for Manhattan, Alvin Bragg. Appreciate your time, Alvin.
Thank you so much.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.